place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
All right, it's another episode. Yes, that's right. From Pixel Legends to Blockbuster Heart, dive right in. Let's rip this all apart.
Let's rip. Is it rip this vibe apart? I forgot.
It's set this vibe apart, but I just say let's rip this all apart.
Let's rip off this vibe.
So we got a lot of stuff going on, but before we talk about that, I just gotta plug something right now, because to me this is big. Okay. Beanie is back. So if you don't know who Beanie is, then check this out. They are back with a brand new song. Just came out a couple days ago, and I'm sorry, this one is on fire, actually.
Oh, I think you sent me?
I don't think I sent you this. No, this is I don't know if it would be classified as, if they really call it P-pop or just Panay pop or how they're going to label it. But this is one of the groups that's gotten like really big in the Philippines, and they actually do some pretty awesome stuff. And I think that it would be like right up your alley, Ben. So
you did send me this. You sent me this, and you said this was right up your alley, and I said no, thank you.
Well, give it a chance now.
No, thank you.
Oh, you just shot them down. That's hard. That's hardcore, man. So, but I just wanted to give them a plug because they do some really cool stuff, even though Ben doesn't think so.
I don't know who they are.
And I guess you won't now that you said no, thank you.
Yeah. Because I'll never be able to like do an internet search for that if I ever wanted to. But that's okay.
Because the internet's too hard to work with?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I understand that.
3D internet. Well, it's interneting.
So, you want to talk about something new that's going on? Oh, actually, hold on. I'm going to stop you before you do that. I do want to mention one thing. Tonight is going to be, are we going to say it's a bonus episode as well, too? Watch Us Die bonus episode?
I don't know if you want to say tonight. I mean, tonight we're recording it, but yeah.
Well, okay. Well, soon in some days, we're gonna have a bonus episode of the Watch Us Die that will be posted. Keep an eye out for that, because it's going to be for a game that is free right now on Amazon Prime, but only for about a week and a half more or so, depending on when it actually shows up. And I will talk about it a little bit on this one when we talk about the Let Me Help You Save, even though I've discussed already, but I'll plug it again so that guys know what's coming. And that's it. So you got something news going on with the BL show.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. This thing is like freaking the hell out. I had like a bunch of browser tabs open, and it was treating them all like separate windows for some reason. It's really weird. No, there's nothing major going on. There's nothing spectacular happening, right?
Well, I thought there was. I'd ordered something a couple days ago.
Well, you want to start off the program by for shilling for money. Okay, we'll start shilling for money. Well, see, Mike has a segment where he's going to help you save some money, but first, let's help you spend some money.
Let's help you spend what you're going to save.
Yeah, let me go and I gotta bring up the website because I don't even know what the website is right now. Threadless.com, I think. BM show. Let me see here. I have it on. It's on our YouTube channel. That I know because I actually copied and pasted it. And of course, your face is over the button I need to tap on. Let's see here. I want to view channel. View my channel. Here it is. It's the BM show. One word. The BM show. .threadless.com.
Can you share it?
Yeah, hold on a second. I could share it. It's one of my first times doing this. So you gotta give me a second. How do you share your screen again? Oh, here it is. Share screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see Ben's computer and all the illegal stuff that's on it.
No, you're not. Uh, so you can see right here. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so you see right here we have a bunch of designs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 different designs that you could choose from. We have the classic BM show logo here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse? Okay.
You see the mouse.
Okay. And then the first one I set up was this one because I just wanted to get it. Because I actually do want to get one of these t-shirts. I actually ordered one, whereas Ben does it so you don't have to. And it's just all our segments. Anything we have artwork for, we're gonna just have a t-shirt available for it. And if you like the particular segment, or you know somebody named Ben who does it all, so you don't have to, or you know a guy named Mike who always has something to say about everything and he wants to review everything. You say, hey Mike, I got a t-shirt for you. It's not just t-shirts, it's men's t-shirts, women's t-shirts, and there's just like clothing. When I say t-shirts, it's also like long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, pullover hoodies, zip up hoodies, jackets, tank tops. You can get
skateboards. You can get a skate BM show skateboard.
Yeah, let's look at okay. So let's look at the skateboard. I don't know anything about skateboards.
Yeah.
This was just me putting options on. I'm like, you want to sell skateboards? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Please, look how sick that is.
If you just got money burning a hole in your pocket,
If you hit the skate park with the BM show skateboard, stop here, or you're gonna want to handcuff that board to you because people will steal it.
yes, they will steal your.
You can also get rugs, and you could get shower curtains. If you want to have a shower curtain that says Ben does it so you don't have to, then you could put that up, and that will remind people that you don't shower, only Ben does.
Here's the shower curtains. Yes, you can get one right here. Ben does it so you don't have to. This could be like if you are cheating on someone and you're cheating with a guy named Ben who does it better, you could put this in the shower.
It's more like if you're cuck and you have a friend named Ben, and your wife's like, you're not big enough for me, then there you go.
But this is all available on what I dub the BM store. Because this is the show and this is the store, and you can see like right here, framed fine art prints. So if you want to display this in your home, watch us die. If you want to put this in the you know your kids' room,
Obviously, that
part of their wall, so they can see it first thing in the morning and the last thing they see before they go to bed.
So yeah, if your family member comes over and you're waiting for them to go with their inheritance, you just put that up in their wall.
Yeah, stretch canvases of different sizes here. Like if you're an indie game developer and you're at like a convention, you can get one of these and you put it up in your booth, and it just says free fan made games. It doesn't have our marketing on it at all. We just get a piece of the pie when you buy it. That's all.
But if you guys want a shirt, go for it.
Yeah.
Show off your love for the BM show.
And like I said, it's thebmshow.threadless.com. Right up here, I'm highlighting it. But it's also it's going to be it is already on our YouTube channel, and I will make sure to put it in the doobly doo down in when I put the video up. And I can stop sharing my screen.
That's awesome. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, that's some exciting news. I was wondering how to lead into it. I was actually going to wait until you did your thing about saving money and then say that since you're saving all this money, but it's all right.
So we ended up reversing it. That's okay, because I have all the stuff ready to talk about saving money.
Okay, and as you probably saw on the screen, I have a bunch of stuff ready for one of the things I'm talking about. So
perfect, and then we'll hit that up, and then we got a little bit of a review corner and a mix of mic ticks today, and then we'll have just probably like a small little topic to go. So this should be an interesting little shindig today.
Yeah, now you said you have a lot to talk about in this segment.
Oh, dude, wait till you see how much has come out. So here we go. What genre do you like? What do you want to play? Let me help you say what you got to pay. There you go. We got the intro in. So let's talk about start off with what's going free first. So here we are on the Epic Games site. So we're going to start with Epics like we always do. So first thing that's free on Epic, we had a nice talk about this last time, is F1 Manager 2024. So you can go ahead and pick this up. We're going to have a segment about this afterwards. Is that right, Ben? Everyone, Ben has died, I think. I don't know if Ben's actually still alive or not. So we're just going to keep going and pretend like he is. Yeah. So, okay. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm going to send him a text. Are you alive? A question mark.
Dude, you really, all the times that you talk nonstop through all this stuff, this is the time you need to come to me when I go use the bathroom. Okay.
So congratulations, Ben.
You started with F1 Manager, that's why. Okay, well, we would talk about this afterwards. You should have put one last.
That's what I was asking you. I was going to make sure we're going to discuss this one. We'll discuss afterwards. So that was a little awkward. I'm sure this will be cut out on the cut of this.
I don't even know. Yeah, I just thought, well, he's going to go on for a couple minutes. I'll go use the bathroom. I'll come back and yeah.
All right. All right. So that's free up on Epic Games. Also free is, as we discussed last time, Apex Legends Loba. We are huge Apex Legends fans.
Are we?
Yes. And
Sponsoring us, yeah, we're not fans of them yet.
Okay, well, we're potential fans.
We're open to it.
Show us some money and we will be all over Apex Legends. In fact, we might even end up doing Watch Us Die for Apex Legends at that point. So that's free if you're an Apex Legends player. Coming up for this coming Thursday is Garden Story, which is a indie RPG. If you ever wanted to be a vegetable, this was the way to go. So, and I mean a vegetable as in a real vegetable, not like the term vegetable that we, I realized it didn't come out like I wanted it to, but here's your opportunity.
If you ever wanted to be stuck in a bed with no sense of what's happening in the outside world.
Well, that sounds like a gamer at that point. Yeah. So also it's going to be free coming this Thursday is World War Z Aftermath. So if you want to kill some zombies or whatever, which we'll actually get to later too, then World War Z, this will save you $40 and you can shoot zombies till you've ran out of bullets and into your heart's content. So that's everything on Epic Games. When we go to Prime Gaming this week around, we have Stunt Kite Party, which is, I guess they're classifying this as a sports game. Go fly a kite, basically. That's what
I remember. That was a great team sport. I'm sure. Actually, you know what? There's probably competitions. Honestly,
I watched the X Games. Man, it was brutal.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It was fly or die. So, but yeah, so Stunt Kite Party is available. Also on Prime Gaming, you've got Dark Sky, which is a RPG turn-based strategy game. Looks kind of like a card battler as well, too. So, which is, I'm not a big card battler person, but
I ain't either. Yeah, it's like
it's free, pick it up. We also have the Smurfs 2, The Prisoner of the Green Stone, which actually has co-op. I was tempted to say, let's do this for a Watch Us Die. However, I did find out it looks like it's only local co-op. So, and
I think, well, oh, you can't only do that through Steam, huh?
Yeah.
Is this a Steam game?
I don't know if it's a Steam game, but it's not, it's, they don't have Steam through Amazon ever. It's only GOG, Epic, and Amazon that they offer.
Oh, I think I've gotten a Steam key from them in the past.
It could have been like way in the past, but yeah. I saw something, people are comparing this to somebody was comparing this to Ratchet and Clank. So if you're a fan of Ratchet and Clank and you can handle the Smurfs, you might want to check it out.
That was actually one with an ex of mine. That was like one of the
cool thing me and her did together was like we played one of the Ratchet and Clank games like almost all the way through. This is a girl who couldn't get through the first level of Super Mario Brothers, but here she is playing Ratchet.
And probably now she's playing the Smurfs too. So if you just now go for it. Also, we've got Lysfunga, the Time Shift Warrior, which is like an action RPG, I believe, hack and slash RPG. And I looked into this because this one looks interesting because you can actually reverse time, like I think it was like Max Payne could. Was it Max Payne that were you like reverse time, or was that just slowing time?
I'm probably slowing time.
Okay, so this one you can reverse time, and when you reverse time, then it creates a shadow of yourself that does the action that you did the last time. So you can have multiple shadows of yourself taking down enemies while you're taking down another enemy. So it's kind of interesting. If you want to give that a try, it's free. Also at Prime.
Wasn't that the power up in Ninja Gaiden 2?
I don't know. I never really got to the Ninja Gaiden games.
And Ninja Gaiden 2, there was a power up where you can go and get a thing where it makes a double of you, and it's a shadow, and it's literally like a second behind you. Not
Oh
even
no, yeah, this is different. This is like you go in the room, you go to the right, and hack and slash the guy to the right, then you reverse time, and then you see your shadow go off to the right where you go to the left and hack and slash another guy at the same time. Then you reverse time, and then you go down the middle while one goes to the right and one goes to the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one I was talking about, like literally just they're right behind you doing whatever you were doing. But like it would work too for hitting an enemy because they would sometimes because if you threw something, they threw it too. And
Yeah, so if that sounds interesting, check that out. It's free. There's also one more on Prime Gaming, which is Hard Space Shipwreck, which is a simulator, a space simulator. It looks like. So if you don't have the budget of NASA, this is your alternate way to go. This is actually free, whereas NASA isn't. So if you're interested in this stuff, you may want to look into Shipwreck or Hard Space Shipwreck. So that covers all the free stuff. Now, Fanatical went nuts on the bundles. So we'll go through these as quick as we can. First off, on Fanatical, you have Build Your Own Debut Bundle. We don't want to use Google account. You can go away. Okay, well, that doesn't want to go away. Anyway,
At the X.
I can't hit the X because there we go. Another window is in sway. So here are 3 games for $4.99. If you see anything in here you like, that's a good, cheap way to pick them up. Next bundle they have is the Build Your Own Simulator Collection Bundle. So if you don't like your life, then you can just pretend it's something else. $2 or 2 games for $12.99. This one's a little bit more, but the games may be a lot more expensive here. So if you see anything here, go for it. This is probably F1 There's F1 Manager 23, which I think the one you got was 24, was it?
It says F1 Men 24, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess this is a repeating series. So you could pick up 23 if you really like 24 in this bundle. If you want,
If I picked that up, I would pick up. Okay, so we have the Firefighter bundle. I might do the Bus Simulator, and if you go down, actually Game Studio, I might get that one too. Then there's a lot. Actually, I like simulator games. Keep going.
okay.
Keep going. Oh God, who wants a cat cafe? I think I picked my 3 then because maybe Train Life might be interesting.
If you do that, you might as well go to 5 because now they're $5.20 a game. That's not bad.
And then I would do probably like Firefighter, Bus Simulator, the Game Studio, maybe Fugu Shark Simulator too, and then do the other one I just said, the Train Simulator. I mean, Tycoon looks interesting too, but I would rather have a modern day hotel instead of doing like an old inn. Because old inns are they're kind of boring, but a modern day hotel, like you could put a hotel, or you could put like a pool in, and maybe put vending machines and
Cameras in the rooms.
cameras in the rooms.
Microphones.
Where every one of them's a studio, so like the bathroom, they're all in the same room.
Mhm. You put transparent walls throughout the whole floor with the rooms.
You ever seen you ever watch Mr. Beast?
No.
I was watching. I only watched one thing he ever did. He took this like these two people and he put them into like this gigantic room, and they had fluorescent lights on, and they had to stay there for 100 days. And if they stayed there for 100 days, they get to split $100,000.
Mhm.
And then he would come in like every week and offer them, or every 10 days, and he would offer them like a perk. He is like, because like like the first one that they came up with, he said you could pay me $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever out of your prize money, but in return you'll get a remote that allows you to turn the lights off. Because the first 10 days they're in there, the lights are on all the time, and they're fluorescent lights, so they're very uncomfortable, and they're on all the time, and it's a white room. It's very hard to sleep, but they're finding ways to sleep, and they would get this remote to turn the lights off. They said no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's the one. That's the easiest yes ever. You're gonna go nuts if you're here for 100 days and you can't sleep.
I would wonder if that would damage your eyes though, being in there, like wake down your eyes over time.
Oh yeah, because it's all the blue light in there. It's not like none of that's good for you. You'll be tired all the time, but you can't sleep because the lights are bothering you. This is the stuff they do in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on here. So up next we have build your own Capcom bundle. So if you're a Capcom fan, this is actually pretty good. 2 games.
Ooh, Resident Evil 3. Look
Yep.
at that.
Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil
And
2.
They do all the Resis.
Yeah, 7. You got Mega Mans. You got the Devil May Cries. I mean, there's a lot of Capcom stuff in here. You got the Resident Evil 4 or 5 double pack, but this is going to be the 2005 Resident Evil, and the 1 and 2 double pack. So there's a lot of good stuff in this one.
So like, okay, so going through that, just what I don't have on PC, I would definitely do that more than the 4 Plus. It would be like all the Resident Evils. I think I have some of them. I forget what I have in the computer. I'm like on the computer now. Let me go take a look. Now these guys give you Steam keys, right?
These are Steam keys, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you got 14 days to
15 days.
figure it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving on. Is that cool? I'll just keep this one up. So if you want me to go back to it, I can.
No, I'll look on my own. Actually, I do have a lot of these already. I have Resident Evils 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have them all. Oh, you know why? There was a Humble Bundle,
Yep.
and I grabbed the Humble Bundle a couple of years ago. Or a year ago, or whatever the hell it was. I grabbed it. Okay.
Yep. All right. So next in Fanatical, they have the Build Your Own Special Editions bundle. So this is 2 games for $7. This also has some pretty big names in it too, and a lot of double and triple packs in this. So you're getting, look at this, 5 games for basically $3.50. So yeah, so here's another one. If you see something you want, go attack it. Next up, we've got the Build Your Own Bento Deluxe bundle, which is 2 games for $15. So this one's gonna be a little more pricey than the other ones, and probably a little bit more obscure, but there is a market for this kind of stuff. So if you're in that market, you're probably already looking this over and writing down some names that you're definitely going to want to pick up. And then finally, the next bundle with Fanatical is the Prestige Collection Build Your Own Bundle, which is 2 games for $15. Again, some pretty big names in this one too. Some of these I've actually picked up for free, but it's still another one. If you see stuff that you need, go get it. So that actually covers Fanatical. Humble Bundle has put up the Deck Builder Bonanza. That's a pay. It looks like $12. You still get all 6 titles? No. Let's see where the good. Okay. I guess it's pay at least $20 and you get these 6 titles. If you go less, if you go 16, you're going to pick up 4 of them, and then 12 is only going to net you those 2. So I'm not really familiar with these games, but if you are and want them, go for it. Spend the $20 and pick them up. Another one that Humble Bundle put out is if Fanatical's Capcom wasn't enough, Humble Bundle has a Capcom Arcade Classics and Fighter Pack for $20. That will get you a lot of Street Fighter and a lot of arcade.
You know what's funny is that the arcade stadium collections. I have the arcade collections and I have the Street Fighter collection, and there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, like because one of the arcade stadium collections has at least one Street Fighter 2 machine.
Yeah.
And all the Street Fighter 2 games are in the anniversary collection, along with like Street Fighter 1, 3. I think it's like, I think it's everything up until they hit 4, but not 4. Right before 4, I think, or maybe right before 5. I'm not really sure.
It'd probably be 4.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you look at this for $20, it probably sounds like you're getting all the Street Fighter games. I haven't really looked into it, but I would assume so because it looks like it has the anniversary collection that's going to be chock full of 2, 3, and alphas. You've got 4 and 5. I'm sure that probably the anniversary collection is 1 also. And Arcade Stadium 1 and 2. You've got to have the whole Street Fighter collection through this.
You got this one here in the lower right hand. That's probably the one Super Street Fighter 2 that's not included in the anniversary. There is one that's not included. I think it's the one that was like a special version that was like for maybe the one that came out for 3DO, I think.
Huh. Who knows?
There's so many variations of Street Fighter. It's ridiculous. Yes.
So there you go. $20 if you want to get a whole bunch of Street Fighter stuff. Now, one thing that I want to discuss, and Ben, you definitely want to, if you haven't done this, you'll definitely want to do this before we do our Watch Us Die. I'm going to go ahead and put this one up again because we're going to be playing this soon, which is a Zombie Army 4 Dead War. This is available only until February 26th. So keep an eye out for the Watch Us Die that's going to be coming soon. We're playing this. But what I want to point out is if you do pick this up, you're then going to want to go over from Prime Gaming to Epic Games because you can get, first off, the season 1 pass here. The season 1 pass is basically free. So if you get Zombie Army, there's no reason why you don't want to get the season 1 pass. Also, you'll be able to find easily the Left 4 Dead Character Pack 2. That's also going to be for free. And then there's also Left 4 Dead Character 1 pack, but it's hard to find because if you just do free on everything, when you type in Zombie Army 4, it doesn't come up. So what you need to do is go into Zombie Army on Epic Games and scroll down until you get to the DLC and click on the See More option. When you click on the See More option, it'll take you to the DLC and add-ons. And if you scroll down somewhere in here, you should find the bundle for here we go. Left 4 Dead Character Pack 1 is right here. So that will get you to this, which is also free. So you'll be able to get, so if you pick up the game on Amazon Prime, you can then get the season 1 pass and the Left 4 Dead Characters 1 and 2 packs for free as well too.
Where is the season 1? Is that in Epic?
Yeah, Zombie Army is gonna be an Epic game through Amazon Prime. So then you'll want to take everything to Epic and go through Epic and get the season 1 pass on Epic, the Left 4 Dead Character Pack 1 and Pack 2 on Epic as well too.
Yeah, I'm just getting the season 1 pack now, and I got the Character Pack 2. I didn't see the Character Pack 1.
That's what I was saying. It's tricky to get. The best thing to do is go to Zombie Army 4 Dead War, the main game, click on it.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. It's not letting me pick. I can't click on it from the browser. I'm in the launcher. Is that the problem? Should I be on the website?
Yeah, go on the website.
All right, hold on. I'm still in the browser or the launcher. Oh, it's freezing out. All right, hold on. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see, Epic Games.
And you can do it. You should be able to do it through the launcher as well too. Nice.
Yeah, it's giving me some like it's not showing me what I want to see, and it also froze up. Let's see, store. So I was dealing with I was dealing with some website that kept like freezing up on me, like all the never mind, I don't want to say it. But there was a website I was dealing with this today that was giving me problems. Come on, this Epic Store. It's because we're talking about it right now. It's our premium members are swapping the store and they're just
Exactly. Even though this isn't airing at the moment that we're talking about it, it's VIP people.
Yeah, they just know.
The darn you VIP, because we got the VIP audience with us.
This thing is like dragging, dude.
Huh.
I know it's on my internet being out because we wouldn't be talking if my internet was out. So
I'll just send you the link to it.
yeah. Dude, I'm like having a
So the link's gonna be in the chat thing.
yeah, okay.
And I'll just keep the browser available just in case.
Yeah, I'm just driving me nuts here. All right, well, continue on because we don't.
And that was it for everything that's free and cheap. So take all that money, switch it over to the shirts, buy some shirts, show your friends how awesome you are. And I bet you they will be coming to the BM show as well too. And you guys will make it a habit to get together, play some games, listen to the BM show, and do whatever else you want to do. We don't want to know.
Hit subscribe, hit like, share on social media. Talk about how great. Yeah, you covered it all. Hey,
There you go.
this thing is dragging. Like it won't even let me click on add it to cart or nothing. Like everything's just dragging. I don't know what's up with their website. And it must be a very popular time for Epic Games Store. Sunday night. Maybe this is when everybody goes on and plays. I don't know.
I have no idea. Well, I think that we should just click that link that I sent. It should be in the chat for Skype.
I did, and that's where it's dragging on here too.
Interesting.
Like it won't let me like get it. It just keeps circling around. I got the pinwheel of death. Well, not really the pinwheel of death, but the something of death. It's not the circle of life. I know that. I'll deal with it later.
All right, yeah. So why don't we move over to the you got some things to say about F1 Manager?
Oh, you want to do that now? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that now. So so what was the it sucks or it's something that you don't want to do? Well, guess what? Boom, boom. Ben does it, so you don't have to.
Yes, he does. And I have to open it first before I can share it.
Yes, you do. So you're actually share the game?
I guess. Why not? It's gonna make my system go nuts. It's already the fans are already turning up. It's crazy. Think, oh, I got this extra work I gotta do. It's very graphically intense. So F1 Manager 2024, what the game is what it sounds like. You are the manager of an F1 racing team. And I played this thing for 15 minutes. I literally hurried through a lot of stuff just to get an idea of kind of what it is. I wasn't really looking to play this. And like, I could actually start sharing my screen now. Let me just see if I could pick it. Here it is. Start sharing. Do you see it?
Oh, I do now.
Okay. So it's through here. I just want to play it so folks have an idea of what it. I'm gonna.
Oh, it sounds like you got the sound going on it because you're cutting out in voice.
Yeah, hold on a second. Oh, you can't hear me. That's the problem. Oh my god, you gotta go through all this stuff just to do anything. There we go. There we go. No sound. Beautiful. So yeah, this is F1 racing. You get these cars here. Apparently Red Bull is huge in F1 racing. I don't know anything about F1 racing. So if you're here to learn about F1 racing, and please go find another video, but I'm not going to be able to teach you anything on it. But I started a career where I believe I took the Red Bull team because they're supposed to be the best team in the league, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I just raced through it, and it's all this administrative shit. They want you to go and like, what kind of stuff should we design for the car? And should our drivers go through any training? And like, you're just overseeing everything. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm the worst guy to ask for any of this stuff. And right now, I'm in practice sessions for this big race coming on, and this is where I stopped. One of the cool things is you could actually play the race if you want to.
So you can like do the car racing yourself?
I believe so. At least you could do the practice. All right, so like they have you through the tutorial thing, and I haven't clicked this yet, but that would stop all these from coming up. But here they tell you like what you're supposed to do, and then you're supposed to manage the session. I'm not really sure what that means. I just click on stuff, and I continue to go on, and I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. And it'd be funny if I went through the whole season and actually won the season, but I doubt that's going to happen because I don't care. So if you enjoy your time with him. So yeah, so now I'm in the pit. I wish I didn't play as far as I did then. I have two racers. This is my first guy and then my second guy, and then they're usually up here on the top because they're the best two racers in the league. Like I said, that's why I picked this team. But like I said, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, apparently I'm starting the race.
Okay.
All right. Okay, send him out too. We're gonna send them both out. Oh, we're doing another practice lap. That's what we're doing. Okay. And
You're the worst F1 map ever.
because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what to do.
What should we do? Send them out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Mars, they really felt they shouldn't be racing at the same time because you got to worry about them crashing into each other. They're out doing practice laps, and I believe around here it's gonna. Oh, right here, take manual control. I haven't tried this yet, so let me try this.
All
Take
right,
manual control. I don't know what's what. How am I? Oh, I'm doing manual control of the pit crew. Oh, F that. That's boring as hell. I thought I meant I could drive the damn thing. That's what I want to do. You can't even drive in this game. You know how easy it is to make a fucking racing game? They can't even put an actual racing game into this racing game. It's a manager for a racing game. This is like if you had Ridge Racer and you just told the guy what he's gonna do. Anyways, if you are a fan of F1 racing and it is your life and it's the reason that you subscribe to certain things online, then this might be the game for you. But for me, I did it so you don't have to.
Thank you, Ben. I'm glad that I didn't pick that one up. Your sacrifice was not in vain.
Did it start sharing already? Oh,
Yeah, no one stop sharing.
oh. But it still tells me to stop sharing it. I'm like, well,
Yeah, you can just go ahead and click stop sharing, but because you exited out of it, it's not sharing it anymore.
okay, there's nothing to share. Got it. Yeah, I'm like the worst manager. Like, if this was like a baseball manager, I'd maybe have something to do with it because I at least know like statistics and stuff. But like with this, I'm like, I'd have to like learn all this shit, and I don't really care to learn it.
If you think of like a baseball game, like you're talking about, you're still dealing with statistics when you're playing the game. Like even back to like the NES days, it was tracking, the what is it? The percentage of bats are us, or I forget what the term is now because I'm not really a baseball fan. Their ERA or whatever their number.
The ERA is one of them. Earned run average, but that's for pitchers, and that's how many runs you normally give out in an inning, and you want to lower ERA or per game. I mean, and to lower the ERA, that means the better the pitcher. RBIs, yeah, like because I know all that stuff. Even though there's changes to baseball, the fundamentals are still the same. And I know like F1 racing. I know NASCAR, but I really don't know F1 racing. And NASCAR, that's so different. Now I wouldn't, I don't know who any of the racers are. And
I think it's going to appeal to people that are like Gran Turismo fans. They're just like, you know what? I'm sick of actually driving the car. I just want to like put it together and have someone else drive it for me. That's like, this seems like what this would appeal to.
yeah, this is for people who like, they're watching it and they're like, I bet you I could do a better pit crew, and I bet you I can handle it. Yeah, if you're in the administrative geeky shit, probably like that movie Moneyball. If you're like the guy from Moneyball, but it's about racing.
Mhm.
That's what this is, and it's not my thing, but I'm sure some people they'd love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of them. They have one for you can manage a soccer team. And you know what? They tried doing it here with American football one year. They tried actually a couple of years. They did NFL head coach, and there's a reason they don't run it anymore
Yeah.
because they rolled it into Madden. That's what they should do with this. They should roll it into the actual racing game and not have it be a separate thing.
I understand.
Because like you're doing the racing engine anyways. You're faking the game engine anyways. Why don't you have racing in there? That's why when I went to manual control, I was actually excited. I actually saved it for this show. I'm like, I'll do the manual control. I'll try it for the first time on the show. And then I get to it, it's like, oh no, I get to manually tell the crew what to do. I don't care about that. Tell me like how fast to change the tires. Dumb. Do you want me to cover the other thing I have, or do you want to?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. All right. I'm actually playing with it right now. If you're when you were talking to me before, and I sounded like I was on the other side of the road, because I was turning it on. I went ahead and let me go and open up this again. Share a screen and
Wait, so before you share the screen, let me ask: is this about what we're going to talk about for the topic? The regarding your PS2, is it? Or was this okay? Why don't we hold off on that, because that's going to be our topic. And
okay,
we'll go back. I've got a couple of things I need to throw out pretty quick, and I want to try to get through these as quick as possible. So I do have a review corner, a double review corner, and then actually a double mix and mic ticks. And I'm going to hurry through those, but I definitely don't want to hurry too fast to where it's pointless.
Okay.
So
You doing a review corner now?
I'm doing the review corner first.
Mike's review corner here to review all things to you.
Some of them are still good.
All
right, let's look at the couple of to talk about. First one is a game called Fallen Leaf, which came out, I think, in June of last year. And I've actually been wanting to bring this one up because, let me just go ahead and read the review. So this is for Fallen Leaf. I have been eyeing Fallen Leaf for a while, just waiting for a sale. And after getting it, I might as well have got it for full price and not waited. Being that I grew up on the NES days, there's a good solid game here. The main character moves a little too slow at first play for my taste, but I adapted. It is pretty chill too. Not saying it doesn't have a challenge, but more that you know when you blew it and you own it. So it isn't a Ninja Gaiden rage fest like some of the recent indie games tend to be just because they can. So if you want something fun and relaxing that feels very NES, this isn't a bad deal at all. And I definitely gave this one a thumbs up.
Is this the game?
It looks like it is. Sorry, I'm looking at like a really small window, but it does look like it's Fallen Leaf. We're going to get to it anyway in a second, but hey, that's awesome you're running it. I'm going to do the second review now.
Okay.
And that's for a game called Blade Chimera. So I know you're searching for it right now. So I'll give you a second to bring it up.
Chimera.
Chimera.
Oh, here it is. Chimera.
Yeah, Blade Chimera. And it looks like, it's going to be like that first one. Sorry, I'm looking through like a small window at what you're doing. Okay. Blade Chimera. Yes, that's it. Not a bad Metroidvania with guns game. Quite enjoyable, actually. But Ladybug Metroidvanias just tend to feel a little too much the same. SMT, Synchronicity, Lotus War, and now this. So if you have those and feel $20 is too steep for another, I understand. If you drop the money on it and like Metroidvanias, I don't think you will be really disappointed with it. So that's all I really wanted to say about those two. So the irony of it is we're going to move to episode of Mix and Mike Ticks. So go ahead and drop your screen because I'm going to be sharing my screen.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to the thing here. Oh, come on. Why is it going to be two different windows? Which window do you think I want to open? You want to open the small window that's open all the time or the one you can't see?
So whenever you game your LeMay, yes, whenever you game your LeMay, I will teach you the right way to kick bottom when you play. It's time for Mix and Mike Ticks. So if you're wondering what we're going to talk about on Mix and Mike Ticks today, let's start out with this first one. Fallen Leaf. So on this one, the spoilers are going to be kind of small. There's going to be a couple things you may see about abilities that you get and characters that you're going to get later. So if that doesn't, if you're not happy about that, I'm sorry. But I hope what I show you will help out. So in this game, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on in. So you're probably wondering, what's the best way to get some money? And just like Super Mario, there's plenty of levels to go to grind up some money. But the irony in this is the easiest and seems the best way to do it is World 1-1. So I'm going to go ahead and pop into World 1-1, and you can actually just repeat these levels over and over and over again. So when you're going through World 1-1, there's a couple places that you want to definitely focus on when you're getting the money. And you can actually run this, get about 250 of these, I guess, rupees or whatever they're called in this game. I don't remember what they're called. I don't know if it tells you what they're called. And you could do this in probably about maybe a minute and a half or less if you're going fast enough. So the first place I want to point out while you're going along here, obviously there's a trail of these, but when you get to the very end, the first area, make sure to jump and miss that platform. Because down here, there's a place where you can knock the blocks out and gather up some extra rupees there. In the second area, there's going to be another area that is kind of secret that you're going to pick up one of the sprouts in and a good amount of money. So that's going to be here at this chest. Make sure to hit that stalactite and drop down because there is going to be a chest down here where you'll score some pretty good money. And then head back to the trail. When you get to this section, you might as well just keep the high road. And then there's going to be another section here. It's really obvious, but you want to knock out this wall to open up that chest. Third area is where the bear is. This is optional if you want to go through these boxes. They sometimes have singles appear, but this does add time. And if you do this level in under a minute and 30 seconds, you start to get a money bonus for each second it's under. So we're going to knock that down so that I can get through. And yeah, we know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Next area is going to be where the prize is. You just want to go ahead and skip that. And now we'll come into the last area on this level. And there's some obvious secrets here. And that would be first off that stalactite. You want to go ahead and knock that down. That'll open up this chest. So you'll score some money there. There's then this stalactite, which will open up this section. Make sure that you're switched to somebody that can slide. The character I'm using can't right now. So I'm going to slide with that guy, grab that chest, slide again. When you get to the part where you have to slide, keep it on somebody that does a shot. And I'm going to show you why. Because once you get to here, there's going to be this thing in the wall. So you want to get as far away as you can and shoot it. And then you can switch back to whomever you want. And boom, there's your like 250, stage clear. And what you can do is then just go ahead and go back to the world, repeat that until you get enough money that you need to buy whatever it is. I think the most expensive thing I've seen on here was around 1900. So obviously I did that in 2 minutes. So if you get down to under a minute and a half, you're probably looking about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so to get that most expensive item. So that's all I really had to say about Fallen Leaf. If you haven't played it, it's a great game. Pick it up. That's how you're going to score some money in it. Now we have another game that we're going to cover in Mix and Mike Takes, and this one we're going to go a little bit more into depth on. And let me go ahead and share my screen again. There we go. Confirm share. Hey, there we go. All right, so there we go. And that's this game here. And this is going to be and Blade Chimera. Surprise, surprise that we're talking about this. So I'm going to talk about a few things on this. I'm basically going to show you some good places to level up towards the end of the game. I'm also going to talk about some weapons that you're definitely going to want to pick up. So, and abilities that you're definitely going to want to master. So every time you level up in this game, you're going to get an ability point, and your ability points can be used to unlock skills. Now, I'm sorry, I should probably said spoilers on this. There's going to be a good amount of spoilers, including the extension of your abilities tree. What I highly recommend, first thing that you want to unlock here, and why do I not see it on here? What am I doing that is, here we go, is this ability here, which is Warp. You're going to see why you want to unlock Warp first, because Warp is going to save your butt. You have no idea how many times, both in staying alive and save your butt in time. After that, I highly recommend, what do I have off here? I don't know why I have that off. I highly recommend leveling up the abilities like slide, air dash, double jump, things that are going to get you to higher and other locations over doing abilities that are going to unlock attacks. Because this way you'll be able to cover more of the castle faster, or whatever you want to call it, area faster, the map faster, and get you to better items quicker than you would if you weren't using them. So now let's start talking about what you want, the type of weapons that you want to get and where to level up. And I'm going to start covering this in the area where is basically, I want to call it your home base. And this is where you see what Warp does. So I am currently all the way over here. My goal is to get to here. So I'm just going to go ahead and warp, and boom, I'm there. And you can do this anywhere. You want to warp to, you'll see me use it more. But this is the first place, this home base area is the first place where you're going to find things to buy. The only weapon I recommend buying is the atomizer, which is going to run you about 6,400. So you're going to need to grind for this, which is fine, because I'm going to show you a good place to grind in the beginning for a specific weapon that will basically kind of break the game and then keep the game broken as you go along. So let's now warp to here. And this is going to be one of the first areas you're going to run into after you go through your home base. And what we're looking for is a specific enemy that's going to appear on the next screen, which is this guy right here, the Hotoko. And the Hotoko will drop a weapon that is super helpful, which is going to be the Shurikens. And what that's going to do is change, instead of you having to use like a sword for close combat, you can use those to throw. So this is one good place to grind. Just go back and forth and keep killing him until you get that weapon. And this is basically what they'll do. So you can still hit from a distance and not worry about any sort of ammunition.
It's like a futuristic Castlevania.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a Blade Runner Castlevania, I would think of, maybe.
Oh yeah, Blade Chimera, I guess.
Yeah. And then after you get that, there's a section, I know this is going to be hard to tell looking at the screen this way, where I usually grind, which is, I go to this section where you're going to see the level 1 door, the security 1 door. I like to go here and then just kind of walk out and just grind off of these two guys to get money. And that's how I raise the money to get the atomizer first. And then I use that to kind of raise a little bit more money and buy like some armor and raise my levels here at the very beginning of the game. So once you have that shuriken and the atomizer, you're going to just basically walk through a good portion of the game. But we want to upgrade these weapons. And with guns, the next best gun I feel to upgrade, well, actually, I should also say you're going to want to buy the amphibious gun because of the water section. It's really the only gun that's going to work there. It's really the only damage you're going to really want to do in the water. And that one runs, I think, about 700 in that same shop. When you get to the second shop, just buy the assault rifle, because the assault rifle has got a nice clip to it and will do some serious damage. And you're going to want to upgrade your shurikens at that point, and you're going to want to get chakrams. Now, I'm going to show you where the best place to get chakrams would be. This is going to be in the underwater section, and I believe it's right here. Oh, nope, not right here. It's the other hallway that looks kind of like that. So it'd be right here by the where you can see the two save points. And what you want to do is drop down and then just kill this guy repeatedly. This Ameno Buzu, and he's the one that's going to drop. You know what? You shouldn't have done that. You just irritated me. Now I can't kill her. There you go. He is going to drop the chakrams as a random drop. So that will get you the chakrams. Those things will break the game because they're just like the shurikens. They basically are ranged attacks and they come out this fast. Another thing that you're going to want to look for is, and you'll find this in a random room. I don't remember which room it is, but if you're upgrading all your abilities to move around, you should get it rather quickly. And that's a ceramic saber, which does some good damage close up. But what these do is when you jump in and attack, you just kind of like lock on the target and then just rip them to shreds. So this makes a good boss fighting sword when you have to get up close and personal. But for the most part, you're probably just going to keep it on the chakram so that you have that range and have either the atomizer or the assault rifle as your other weapon. Now let's talk, you're getting towards the end of the game. This is where the talk really needs to start. And you want to grind for levels. To do that, the best place to do that is going to be in this, I believe it's close to the last section. And if you're following the map, this is actually the map where you start the game down here. And this section's above, and you'll be able to get to this later in the game. Once you do, this is where you're going to grind like crazy. So first thing I want to point out is there's a save point in this hallway, which I'll show the map so you can see where it is. You can use a save point, but don't forget, by then you'll have warp, so you can always warp to a save point. But this room here is where you want to go, the one I'm facing. In this room, you're going to run into Lucifer. And Lucifer gives you 100 experience per kill. If you have the chakram, all you have to do is sit here and throw the chakrams. And if he throws a snake, just use Lux to send it back. And he's going to die. Usually it's done a lot faster than that. It's just I wasn't able to hit him that time too much. And he's dead. Oh, no, he's not there. He's dead. That nets you 100 experience per kill. And you can do that relatively quickly. And he's dead. And I just got hit by that because I was trying to kill him fast. Sometimes he does that and he's dead. And that's 100 experience each time. Another place to get good experience is going to be up here. Let me warp in there and then leave out. Because you're going to want to fight these androids. And there's a couple reasons why you fight the androids. The androids are harder than Lucifer, but you still just have to attack quick. And if you can, you should take them out before they attack. The reason why you want to move to these androids also when you're doing more damage is because they're also 100 experience, but they drop another gun. And that other gun they drop is where this one, the Dragon's Breath, which is a shotgun. And once you have the Dragon's Breath, you can now grind even easier in the room right across the hall where there's this big guy here, I believe it's Shenlong, and just walk in and boom, 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 he's dead. Walk in, boom, 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 he's dead. And this nets you also 100 experience per kill. So that's a few places to get your experience boosted up. Also to get you some really good weapons. And then once you have all the experience you need, just take that wart spell, go right back to the save point you want to go to, and call it a day. And there you go. That's all you need to know to just completely destroy Blade Chimera.
Awesome.
All right. So that brings us to the other thing that you want to talk about, Ben.
Yes, the other thing I wanted to talk about. Very, very important thing I wanted to talk about. It's very important, and I really wanted to talk about it. West, talk about. I'll click with it right now. And that is, I can actually share my screen here. So let me go and get that going. We're talking about modding systems.
Yes.
I've been playing around with modding one of these. Now, I originally bought a slim one, and I did it with I forgot to. I should have brought that up too. Let me bring that up now. And I was playing with oh shoot, what is the name of that dumb card? It's like MS something something. I have one. Hold on.
I'm gonna go guess. No problem.
It is the MC2SIO.
MC2SIO.
MC2. Yeah, it was MC2 SIO PS2 card adapter. What this allows you to do is this allows you to hook up an SD card to the memory slot on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And what that helps with is it's faster than going through USB. The USB on a PlayStation 2 is USB 1.1. And at the first, I had bought a Slim. And when you buy the PlayStation Slim, one of these guys, you can't hook up a hard drive to it, obviously. So the quickest way to play games is off of the memory card, which is still slower than the hard drive. So
I mean, you still need the free McBoot on the first memory card.
you always need free McBoot. You need free McBoot to do anything on this. So yeah, free McBoot with that, if you can research that, but basically in a nutshell, it just allows you to, it opens up the PlayStation and allows you to do a whole bunch of stuff with the PlayStation 2 that you normally couldn't do. It's a way of circumventing the Sony security on it. And using that, you can access games through the memory card or through USB, or if you have the fat model, which is what I ended up just buying a fat model. I put an SSD into it.
Yep.
I have to put a Samsung SSD into it. And I threw in free McBoot, which I actually had a picture up. I don't know why the picture's not here anymore. Where you can get free McBoot at this website, psx-scene.com. And with, I did bring it up. And then what I also did was a thing called Megapawn. Now, what Megapawn is they eventually changed the chip that they use for they used to have all these chips that did these different jobs in the earlier models, and then in the very last revision that they did of the fat model, and then also of course going on then to the PlayStation 2 Slim models, is they got a chip called the Mechacon. And what the Mechacon was doing was the jobs of all these other chips. And in 2021, that's how many years it took, they found an exploit in the Mechacon.
Mm-hmm.
And what they could do now is what's called Megapawn. And what Megapawn does is it turns off, well, it tells the system, let's see here, I have a picture of it. This is what comes up when you first put Megapawn in. And what it does is you can use it to change the region of your PlayStation, or make it a developer kit. And if you make it a developer kit, it doesn't check for region coding or to see if it's an authentic disc or not. And basically it unlocks it to play any PlayStation 1 game from anywhere in the world, including burn disc, and any PlayStation 2 game from anywhere in the world, and burn disc, but only if you burn it a certain way.
Silly.
So I have those two mods, both soft mods, because you could reset both of them. I've been done to my fat PlayStation 2. And I also did this to the PlayStation Slim that I just sold on eBay. So that is what I've been working on. I've been playing with this. Right now I'm having an issue where I can't get the Simpsons game to play properly, which is an issue I've ran into before because I've been playing the Simpsons Hit and Run like crazy. It's been like my game of the month. It's been a lot of fun. You ever play Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yes, I have. Sorry, I stepped up for a second.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
I think when I got the Xbox from you is on there.
Probably was. That's the first time. That's when I used to play it when I had it on that too, and it's just a fun game. Like if you, it's their version of Grand Theft Auto, and there's just so much to do. You collect coins and you interact with the characters, and there's side missions and all this other stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what I've been working on here, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I just remembered I'm sharing it, and.
That's okay.
But yeah, because that's actually how we started talking. It's how the podcast started, because I had a modded Xbox, and I think we were like in a chat room on Facebook, and I mentioned it, and then you hit me up, and you're like, "Hey, want to talk about like how you did that?" And then we just went through Skype, and I think we talked for like 2 hours or something, and we're like, "We should do this," and here we are. How many years later?
So have you modded any other systems besides the PS2? And wait, did you do the Xbox yourself? I don't remember.
I did the Xbox myself. Yeah, that one was that you had to have a copy of Splinter Cell, and you had to have I had to order the memory card because I tried to do the memory card myself and it just wasn't working. So you could order the memory cards that have these exploits, which was a lot of the time. That's what it is. It's a memory card exploit. Even to get like, if you wanted to like not order a free McBoot card, which is dumb because they're like $10. But if you didn't want to order one and you just wanted to do it yourself and spending $8 for a regular memory card, so that save you your $2 and do it yourself, you're going to be sitting there for like an hour trying to figure out how to do this. It's a whole thing. Like you got to have the right game, and then you got to have a save file, and you got to have a this, and you got to have a that. And I might be even saying it wrong because I'm not even sure how to do it. Figured I just said, fuck that. I'm just going to go and buy, I'll just buy one that's already done. Yeah. It's not when like when I bought the card adapter for the SD cards, the seller actually had a matching free McBoot memory card that had the proper version of the software to allow you to access the memory card thing, because you have to have a certain version of the OPL software, which is the software that you use to launch the games. And yeah, so I just bought the kit, which he overcharged. Instead of $10, he wanted $20 for the memory card. But like, you know what? It's ready to go. I don't have to think about it. It's so cheap for PlayStation 2 compared to like modding other systems. Unless you want to like do hardware mods where you're going to like add HDMI or something, then you're getting into money. But for HDMI, I ran through 2 converters. The first one I bought was a Level Hike. Now, Level Hike was really good. Level Hike's about $30, and that one takes the RGB signal and converts it over to HDMI, and it's great if you're planning to also do PlayStation 1 games. If you say F at the PlayStation 1, I bought the second one I bought was from Kaiko, which is KAICO, and that one allows you to use the progressive scan. It can also do a mode where it can do PlayStation 1, but I heard it sucks and I haven't tried it yet. So it's not really for PlayStation 1, but if you're just going to do PlayStation 2 games, it allows you to do progressive scan. And in fact, you could force progressive scan on a lot of games, but not all of them.
Okay. See, when I mod, I don't really go for upscaling the graphics. I kind of like the original feel to them. So I've
well, I don't want like effects done on them or anything. I just want it where if I'm hooking it up to my TV, number one, my TV has to understand it, which if anything below 480p, your TV has trouble with.
yeah.
Any TV has trouble with. In fact, if you can get it converted before your TV gets it, depending on what TV you have, usually though, for most TVs, it'd be helpful to it. Samsung TVs seem to be better for retro consoles, I guess.
Sure.
But the rest of them, like anything you could do to get it up to 1080p at least helps, like with lag and all that stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
'Cause it's used to getting like a PlayStation 4 running to it, but it's not used to a PlayStation 2 running to it, you know? And the adapter I have is not even the final setup I'm gonna have. I'm waiting for a retro Tink is that's the one I bought you. I bought you a retro Tink 2 mini
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, and I got one of those for myself. And what those do, that does composite, which is the yellow cable.
Yeah.
They do sell a component version of that, but I don't want to use it because it only does RGB. But they have 3 boxes, 2 are out and 1's coming out. One's called the Retro Tink 5X. That one will do 5 times. It will take whatever signal you send to it. It'll just convert it up to like 1080p. Might be able to do 1440, but I think it does. I think it tops out at 1080p. And then the other one, the Retro Tink 4K, does the same thing, but it goes all the way up to 4K. And the 4K one is $750. The 5X one is $325. No, I said there was a third one, a third one that's on the way, and that is the 4K CE. And the 4K CE will be $430 or somewhere around there. And that'll have a lot of the features that the $750 model has, but not all of them, obviously. It's a slimmed down version of the $750 model. And that's what I'm waiting to come out. And what actually out, but I have other jobs I'm going to use for it too. What's up?
$750. That is a small price to pay to see in 4K. Thank you, Mario. But our princess is another castle.
And it could do that. That model can do like it'll take anything and it'll convert it up to 4K. And it's made for gaming, so it does it like without any of the added shit that other converters add to it. But that's why it's $750.
So that means, people, it is still dangerous to go alone. Take this in 4K.
Yes, you can see in 4K Mario jumping around or Zelda walking around the map, or you could hook up, if you can mod your Atari 2600 to do composite video, you can watch your Atari 2600 little Pac-Man going around blinking on your screen. That's 4K. You could do all kinds of stuff. And I'm tempted for $750, but if I can get pretty much the same device for $430, it even looks the same, except it's white versus the Pro version's black and the CE version is white. And I don't know if I'm not gonna like having a white device. I'll have to hide it. But yeah, it's because that one actually I can hook up I can hook up the Switch to it, the PlayStation 3. I'll probably do the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2, hook it up to it, then maybe the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just have that like just convert it up to 4K. Also, it adds HDR, which is really cool. Which is like, yeah, it's like not even a thing that gaming consoles like Sony wasn't thinking about that when the PlayStation 2 came out. They weren't even thinking about it when the PlayStation 3 came out.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I've been up to. That's my modding story. What have you been up to?
Well, I was going to ask, are there any other systems that you've modded before?
Oh, I had an N64 that I had modded for me, where we added an RGB adapter to it so it can do RGB. So it was more like a restoration, in my opinion. And then I had the NES, which the HDMI card was added to it. I didn't get that done. I actually bought that already done. And then I also at one point put an NEC TurboGrafx that had RGB added to it. Like the reason you want RGB added to it is because then you could take RGB would be the best that you can get out of the system without like adding an HDMI output to it. And most systems can do RGB, but some of them, because we didn't use RGB in the US at the time, they took it out. Like, so if you get the Japanese version, you'll get it, or the European version, you get it, but in the States, you don't get it. And sometimes, depends what region you're in. Like N64, the only region that got a system, or no, the game, was it GameCube? One of them. I think it's N64. The N64, the only region that got it was France. Got one that did RGB. And the rest of the world doesn't do RGB. You have to add it. Also, you had the, I think S-Video, and our S-Video might have worked out of the box. But like, because they're in the US, we didn't use RGB. We used S-Video, which is lower. But that's what we used here. What else have I modded?
With the going back to the N64, with the N64, were you then using that to play the actual game cartridges?
Yep.
Or were you using
Well, I was using an EverDrive.
Okay, so I think that's what I was going to show, because I'm going to go and share my screen for a second, because this is what I was using on my N64, and I probably what you were using as well on your N64. Is this what you had?
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
it might have been that version too. There's multiple versions. There's like a few of them out there.
yeah.
You see with the N64, unless you're trying to do the N64 DD, you really can get away with just getting the cheapest Nintendo 64 ROM cart that you can get, because any of them will work.
Yeah.
But if you want to do N64 DD stuff, which I don't know why you would, but if there's 6 games, if you just have to have them, I would say get like an EverDrive from Crix. And I've had Crix products, and they are the superior versions. It's like whatever you're thinking of, like a ROM cart, like Crix is like the Coca-Cola ROM carts. It's like, that's like the brand they get. But there's other competitors out there, and sometimes you're on par with Crix. And I would say for Nintendo 64 cards, unless you're looking for the advanced features, it's like compatible with like 90-something% of the games. Like if you're getting it to play, Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, it'll work. Just as long as you have the memory card, the memory booster pack. Those are harder to find, dude. They're expensive now.
Okay.
N64 got really pricey for a minute there. I think it's still up there. That one, I had it with the RGB adapter, and I was running it. First, I ran it with RGB, and then I was running it through S-Video, and it actually looked better through S-Video through the RetroTink 2X than it did doing RGB through. I was doing RGB. Oh god, this setup I had was insane. I did RGB SCART to a SCART switcher, and then that SCART switcher ran to an OSSC. And then the OSSC, you had to change the setting on it for every single system, because every system ran at a different frequency. And you had to have the frequency phase match. And this is all shit that the RetroTink 4X will do. And it's only stuff that works if you're dealing with like a composite or an RGB signal. Otherwise, this is stuff you don't have to deal with because it's more digital. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy when you get into this retro stuff. Like if you really, really want it to look its best, and you really want to like get into the weeds of it, there's a lot to it. And I recommend like look for Rob at Retro RGB. Go to his website. Sure, he's paid affiliate links and stuff, but I don't think he actually does sponsorship with any of these products. Like I'm pretty like I kind of take his word on a lot of stuff. And there's also the guys from My Life in Gaming. They got a whole series about RGB. Like he's your, I mean, if you want to, you can also look at Digital Foundry Retro and like see what they have to say. Because Digital Foundry, they're all about like hardware. What's it look like on the hardware? What's the hardware doing? Yeah, those are like the sources that I was like researching when I was getting into it. And I had like all these systems at one point, but it's like it was just easier to emulate it all.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I have everything. I have an Apple TV that has like emulators up to PlayStation. And not even actually when I say up to, I mean not including. It's like I mean, I guess I think I go up to like I don't even have N64 on there right now. I have just the 32-bit consoles.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's no, retro gaming can be very expensive.
Yes, it can. I mean, I did the same thing with my PlayStation 2. You did, except for the second card slot. I just did the free McBoot, and then I hooked up 512 gig drive through the
I put a 1 terabyte SSD on it.
yeah, I would upgrade mine if I went back to playing on the PlayStation 2 again.
Well, I mean, you look online and they tell you the SSD is a waste of money because it's like it's not going to add anything to your speed or anything. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I have kicking around.
Yeah.
I have SSDs.
Yeah, but it's gonna last longer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun with it. The only issue I have is it doesn't fill the screen unless there's only like one app on there, and it's OPL is the only thing that fills the screen all the way. Everything else, everything's in a window, and that's why I'm really gonna get. I once that the RetroTink CE comes out, I'm gonna get one of those and just get. I actually can get component cables for it, hook it up, and run that and the PlayStation 3 through it. And like I said, maybe the Switch. But if I do the Switch, I have to put an HDMI switch before I get there because they're both because they're both HDMI.
yeah. Gotcha.
But yep, that's I mean, modding. I haven't been doing soldering. Oh, well, like when I had my Nintendo, the closest I did to that is I did solder the thing on it to make the external audio work. And then I also went and found the pin that you're supposed to lift up to stop the security on it.
Yeah.
And like that's as far as I went for anything like that. Like my soldering kit's not even here. So
Yeah, as far as like modding for me, the first thing first system I ever modded was a PlayStation Portable, and that I don't even know if that's really considered modding.
oh, I did that one too. I should have enlisted that.
Yeah, because that's just get one with a 1.5, and then you can just pretty much just drop stuff on it.
Oh, my manager had the Pandora battery.
Yeah.
And I just lent him my system, and then he came back like a day later, and it was bonded.
Yeah. So I was very much into that the PlayStation Portable scene when it hit 1.5 on through I think I was stuck with it to about when they got to about 3.4 or something like that. I was sitting there and doing all the modding myself on it to get it up there, but I had so much stuff. I was when like the 4 gig stick came out and they were like $200 a piece. I bought like 2 of those and just loaded them up. And it wasn't that I was loading with any sort of PlayStation portable games. It was all just emulator stuff that I needed all that room for. And that's not even counting PlayStation as well to PlayStation 1. I've done a few of the systems. Like one of the best ones I did was the Wii, because the Wii
I did the Wii too. That was another easy one.
The Wii was another easy one where you just had that letter bomb site that did it for you, and then you had to manually install some of the iOSs into it so that the games would run. But it was nice because you could just pop your game in there, and the manager they had for the front end for loading the games, you just pop it in and copy it directly to the drive that you had hooked up to the Wii, and then just put the game away and never have to worry about cracking it open to play it. And that thing was great with like emulators. That thing was running everything through like N64 and PlayStation 1. So I just threw a whole bunch of that stuff on an external drive and plugged it in. And then I had like a 128 gig SD card in there as well too, loaded up with all the stuff for emulators going back to NES and Atari. I even hooked up in the first USB slot on it, I hooked up dongle for a keyboard so that I could do like even like DOS stuff on it. So I loved that system. So those are actually the first 2 that I did. I also did a few other things. Like I'm going to show some pictures here about what I've used. So during the PlayStation Portable time, I was active on this website that was all about hacking the PSP. and I was known as the one that also did the DS too. So I picked up a few things, and this was the last one that I ended up with, which was the M3 DS Real. And then there's also
You ever have like the R4 card for that?
no, I didn't go R4. This one, from what I saw, this one seemed to be a little bit easier to use. So I didn't bother with the R4. And I was really happy with the M3 because the M3 and the R4 came out about the same time.
I had the R4 card, and that was one to play with.
Yeah, I actually started the DS when it was like not even portable, when you had to mod it, like had this contraption they had to plug in all these places, and it was totally not something you could fit in your pocket. And it ended up with me using, was the DS Pocket or DS Mini or whatever they called it, with this DS Real and then a GameCube extension port in it so that I could run Game Boy Advance games off it too. So that got it down to the size of just that normal DS Pocket. And I love that system a lot since it was so small and easy to carry around, and DS games were actually really good. Another thing that I modded, and I did this just recently, was I don't want to say modded because they're just buying something to plug in, was the Saturn. Recently they came out with something called the Satiator, which, as you can see, it's kind of pricey. But what this does is, on the Saturn, it has that external port in the back that never got any sort of use right by where the battery is located.
Yep.
This plugs directly into there, and you can just plug a SD card into it.
Yeah, there's another version of this now. It's from a different company where it goes into the cartridge slot.
Mm-hmm.
And people prefer that because it leaves that the slot that this one uses, it leaves it open because you could stick. That's where there was an adapter for a video adapter card that went in there that allowed you to play video CDs, and it also unlocked high res videos in some of the games.
Okay. But then it also, that's also the port you put the 4 gig memory expansion in, though, I believe.
Oh, that's built in.
Oh, it is built into it?
Yeah, they built it into it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could, if you want to mod your Sega Saturn, so you don't have to bother putting games inside, because that's the big thing for me, is I don't want to bother opening up the package of the game and then dropping it in and then putting the game back, because I'm one of those that I don't want my discs all over the place and I don't want to leave them in the system. So I guess you could go either route with what Ben was mentioning or the Satiator to just not even have to worry about that and then just play images of them.
Oh, you can go even further. There's one where there's another one where you actually take the CD drive out. And
that's what I'm actually going to get to in a second, because I also modded the Dreamcast and did that. And that would be this thing right here. Where is it? There it is.
Yep. No, that's one
too far. There we go. Yep. The mode, the Terra Onion mode, which you actually completely take out the optical drive. And actually I'm gonna click the buy now because I want to see what the price is on it. I don't remember how much it was. I remember it being expensive. Where is it? Is it this right here? That's for Sega set. Yes. So 202 euros. So you're probably looking at about $250. I think when I got it, it was even more than that. I think it was around $400 when I get it. I actually ended up, I had 2 Dreamcasts, so I spent a whole bunch of money.
The only thing I don't like about Terra Onion is if you want to get firmware updates, they don't just freely give them out. They're like tied to your particular serial number, like your unit.
Okay.
Which I don't know why they do that. Like, were they afraid of unless they're afraid that someone's going to take the firmware and try to like reverse engineer it. But what's to stop somebody from buying one?
Exactly.
And taking the firmware then and then reverse engineering it. But so we're gonna be off, at least pay me first.
Exactly. Haha, I stole your firmware. Haha, we still got you to pay us the money for it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this was the first time I actually opened up a system to mod the inside of it. I mean, it was super easy to do, but I've always been paranoid about opening systems and controllers and things like that up, because I have a feeling I'm going to break them. And so when I opened this up for the first time, I was so super nervous doing it, but like it was just at that point it got really interesting to see the insides of the system. And then eventually what I did, and I should probably have brought this up. I hit 8-Bit Do recently and went to, let's see if it's under their shop maybe.
Oh, I forgot to mention that with the PlayStation 2, I have an 8-bit Do adapter for using Bluetooth controllers, so I'm actually using a PlayStation 5 controller.
Gotcha. Well, I did a lot of the mod kits. And let me see if I can get the mod kits to come up, like all of them to come up. No, I guess I have to do it per system. So I basically did after I did the thing with the Dreamcast, I started looking into Bluetoothing the controllers because I was a lot more relaxed opening things up. And I ended up picking mod kits up for a whole bunch of them. Like I had the NES, the Super NES, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn. What else did they do? I think I had a couple NES ones, PlayStation, anything that they had up there, N64, GameCube now. I've done all those systems. And actually the GameCube was one that you should, I believe, solder or heat up. It's to heat up for the tubing to tighten around the cords that you tie together. And I had to do that over my stove because I didn't have anything I didn't have a lighter or anything to do it. So that was a little daring to do. But it turned out fine.
Yeah, I did some of them with controller kits, and it was kind of just, it's pretty easy. They give you instructions.
Yeah. It's gotten a little bit harder with them as they've gone along. Like the N64 controller and the GameCube controller aren't just slipping the boards in. You have to pull some parts out and then put them back in. The GameCube has wires that you have to twist around cut off the wires in the controller and twist them around, everything to get them to work. So it's getting a little bit more involved with each one.
They probably need to, because in order to make it happen. Yeah, like I had one for PlayStation. I bought one of those the PlayStation Minis. I bought a bunch of them. I actually had like 3 of them at one point. Because they were dirt cheap. They were like $10. I bought one of them that I bought. I took the controllers and I got the 8-bit Do adapters and I converted them over to Bluetooth wireless controllers. And I think I gave them to somebody because they're kind of useless because they don't have the sticks. Like you can't play them with any game that needs sticks. And that's like the 3D sticks, like the left and right stick.
Well, I'm sure eventually they'll come out with something that's like a PlayStation 2 DualShock board. Hopefully.
Yeah, but like I don't even really like the PlayStation controller that much versus like an Xbox controller. Like the PlayStation 5 controller and the 4 and the 5 controllers I like, but they're the skeleton skinny controller that's for the 1, 2, and 3. It's not my favorite controller.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of fun to have the original controller, and then you bring up something like RetroArch and go into like an old NES game and use the actual NES controller.
Yeah, no, I get that for like with your setup it works, but with with the stuff I have here, like I only have so much room for controllers. I already have like a controller collection, which I wasn't planning to start, but just kind of happened. Like I have a whole collection of controllers. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm looking for collection.
Yo, I've seen your collection. Like mine, I have 2 for the Xbox, 2 for the Switch, 2 for the PlayStation 5, and then I have 1 for the PlayStation 3, and I have 1 that's for the computer, and then I have 1 that's for the Apple TV. You have like a whole collection depending on what system you want to emulate. You could actually have like you'd actually full experience with like that kind of controller. But I just don't have the room.
Ever since I went to the Steam Deck, I mean, the Steam Deck has just been phenomenal because that thing can emulate pretty much everything up to PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, because it's running like off of a Linux base. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have PS Vita and it doesn't have Xbox 360 that you can get through just the application store that's in it. But pretty much everything else is in there. Man, I think I'm up to, I think the last count was somewhere around 19 controllers that are connected to the Steam Deck at this point. Just for whatever feel I want when I play the game.
Hmm.
So.
Cool. Well, we should wrap this up because we're gonna start back up in like a little bit over an hour here.
Yes.
But you folks will think it's a couple days, and who knows? Maybe this hour will feel like a couple days to us. But I don't want to release everything at once. If I don't ever make a longer, it gets so easy to get lost in the shuffle. Like I still have to work on the video for last week when we did the Psycho Lolita killer. I actually started working on that today. I got the audio portion, and I'm working on the video now.
So keep an eye out in the next couple days for the Watch Us Die for Zombie Army 4 to see if that's something that you might want to pick up. Again, that's available through Amazon for free until February 26th. Don't forget to go to Epic afterwards to get the free DLC as well for it if you do decide to pick it up. If you don't decide to pick it up, still come watch us suffer in pain as we play that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have guests on, right?
We should have guests on. I'll talk with you about that in a second. One is definitely saying that he will be here. I may have just scored another one while we're recording this bit. I'll tell you what's going on. So you may it may be just us two, it may be 3, or it may be 4. The game plays evidently up to 4 players multiplayer. We haven't played it multiplayer, so it will be an experience while we try to figure out how easy it is that works. And that's always a good thing for you guys to watch too, to see if it's got easy setup for it.
All right.
And with that, Ben, I'm going to give you the last word.
Electronic gaming